Everything began in 1973 with the presentation of Mean Streets by Scorsese in the Director's Fortnight. He came back in 1976 with Taxi Driver. There he is with Robert De Niro. Palme d'Or, 4 Oscar nominations. He hasn't been here to present a film since After Hours in Competition, which won the Best Director award. So 3 historic figures of cinema here on the red carpet tonight. Martin Scorsese, Dicaprio, De Niro. Here they are.
Plemons, Tantoo means Williams Mellow, Tally Record, et Yancy Record.
And the story of the film, which here we see the Osage Nation actors, and it talks about, the film talks about serial murders in the 1920s, adapted from David Grann's book Killers of the Flower Moon, The Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI. Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro posing for the photographers for this world premiere, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Film coming out in October 2023 in France, in cinemas. Robert De Niro, of course, Raging Bull, New York, New York, The Godfather, Cape Fear, Taxi Driver, for which Martin Scorsese won a Palme d'Or in 1976. A Palme d'Or which caused a bit of a scandal here in Cannes. Robert De Niro played a taxi driver who'd coming back from Vietnam, and he watched New York through the windscreen of his taxi. The press, the critics found it difficult to deal with the violence in the film. But Martin Scorsese knew as soon as he read Killers of the Flower Moon that he wanted to make a film. He even spent several hours with Chief Standing Bear from the Osage Nation to convince him that the story should be told, the story of these murders in the 1920s. Leonardo DiCaprio, the actor of Aviator, Titanic, and of course Shutter Island, The Departed, Aviator. And in 1995, Leo was here in Sam Raimi's Dead or Alive alongside Sharon Stone. Of course, Catch Me If You Can, Django Unchained. And Leonardo DiCaprio, his dream, what made him want to become an actor was to be Robert De Niro, specifically in a Scorsese film. Two giants of cinema, of Scorsese's cinema, two muses of Martin Scorsese here tonight. Martin Scorsese, Age of Innocence, Cape Fear, Lion, Silver Lion for, of course, Goodfellas, and of course he's. Now remember, of course, the exceptional participation of Dicaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street, 2013, violent, grotesque depiction of the lust, the thirst for money, played by Dicaprio. The film takes place in the 1980s. The story takes place in the 80s, but the film dates from 2013. Martin Scorsese, of course, is an actor's cinema. Dicaprio, De Niro, Joe Pesci, Janae, and some actresses too. Each time, very often people talk about him as being a very much male-dominated films. And what does he say about that? He said, well, if you take the Oscars as an indicator, he says 5 of my actors, my male actors, have been nominated, and 3 of my actresses, Helen Burstyn, Jodie Foster, and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantino, and Kate Blanchett, of course. Of course. The president of the festival, the general delegate, time for hugs and kisses. And Thierry Frémaux, kisses on the cheeks, the actors and directors always. Tradition. Going up the 24 steps, 37 years that Martin Scorsese has not gone up these steps for a film that he directed. 37 years since After Hours in 1986 that earned him the Best Director Award. He's back here for a historic premiere with his 2 muses. He was president of the features jury, and it's the first time that Leonardo, Dicaprio, and Robert De Niro have played together in a film by Scorsese. Killers of the Flower Moon, in a moment. A world premiere here in Cannes. It'll be released on the 18th of October in France, even though it was financed by the Apple platform. And this is a big event as well. There, Robert De Niro. So there they are, going to salute the photographers and the crowd massed here. Thousands of people for this exceptional world premiere. Scorsese, DiCaprio, De Niro. 3 giants of American cinema. Martin Scorsese, a figure of New Hollywood alongside De Palma, Friedkin, Spielberg and others. He's joining the rest of the team, and More than 2,500 people waiting for them.
The Killers of the Flower Moon autour de son réalisateur Martin Scorsese.
For the Osage Nation as well. David Gran, who wrote the book that was adapted by Scorsese, he said, in the first stories told by the first missionaries, they were often described as being the happiest of the indigenous peoples. And these stories talks about serial killings, serial murders of these of this nation, of people from the nation in the 1920s. Martin Scorsese talking with the president of the festival, Iris Knobloch. And a monumental crew. And I think we're going to have massive applause, I think, as soon as Scorsese goes into the theatre. I'm sure there will be an ovation. And so we're going to follow this incredible crew, three giants of cinema, and music has stopped. They're going to join the theatre, and there will be the first images of the opening sequences of Killers of the Flower Moon. De Niro and Martin Scorsese, who won the Palme d'Or here in 1976 for Taxi Driver. He changed his life, he said, winning the Palme d'Or, and he can never